Calling from my place in Vancouver, very, very wet, cold, and dark Vancouver. It's just a little bit before 5:30, and it's officially fall weather here. So if you've ever been to Vancouver in the fall, you know it's probably not going to stop raining. Actually, just kidding. It's actually quite beautiful here in the fall. Again, everyone, my name is Dr. Aaron Van Gaber. I'm a naturopathic doctor. I've been practicing in downtown Vancouver since 2003. And I just really enjoy helping people. I love problem solving. And so if you've got a difficult case, if you've got something that your medical doctors just haven't been able to figure out, there's a chance that I may be able to figure it out. So I practice right downtown. I practice in the Sinclair Centre. So if you know Vancouver, it's where the passport office is. Why am I here? I'm here because I really wanted to set up a little bit of a video blog, a way to reach out to my patients and individuals that have liked my page, give them a little bit of educational information, and hopefully inspire people to make some healthier choices in life. So just to recap, last week unfortunately I didn't get to do a video. I was on retreat. I was over on Vancouver Island, staying at a beautiful resort called Tainamara. Had a great time. It was for a retreat, so I belong as a board member on the BC Naturopathic Association. So one of my role is helping promote the naturopathic profession to British Columbians, and I'm really excited to let everyone know that starting on Monday there's a new national campaign that's going to be across Canada and specifically targeted in some of Western Canada. So pretty excited about that. The last video I did do was regarding weight loss, and I talked a little bit about Project Starlight and the HCG diet. If you are interested in finding more information about that, check episode number 12 out. You can also send me a message and I'd be happy to answer that for you. And then before that, we talked about hormone testing, and I went over salivary and urine testing for both male and female hormones. And then the episode before that was about IV vitamin therapy and the Myers cocktail. So if you are interested in that, you can check episodes 10, 11, and 12 out. And this episode is all about addiction. So addiction's a serious thing. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't discriminate. Each one of us, if we really sat down and thought about it, is touched in some way by addiction. Maybe it's one of our parents, our brothers, our sisters, one of our children, or one of our good friends. And so one of my things that's I've really been starting to do in my practice is really helping support those individuals that are struggling with mental health and addiction. And part of that is watching the words that we say and the type of language that we use, and it can be highly stigmatizing. So next time you call out an alcoholic or a cracky on the street, just realize that that's someone's brother, that's someone's mother. And the reality is it's a disease. It's a disease of the brain. 1 in 5 individuals in British Columbia struggle with a mental illness. So that's 20% of British Columbians are struggling in some way at some point in their life with a mental illness. If we're looking at statistics in Canada, we're looking at 1 in 10 Canadians struggling with addiction. That's 10% of Canadians at some point in their life struggling with some sort of either addiction to alcohol, drugs, or a behavioral addiction like gambling or sex. If we look at the definition of addiction, addiction is basically doing something over and over again despite the negative consequences. So if you have a behavior or the use of a substance and you keep doing it, but there's negative effects from you doing it, it can potentially be classified as an addiction. There's usually a craving, there's usually a compulsion, and there's usually the use despite there being consequences. And that really is the hallmark of what an addiction is. And it can start as easy as just experimentation. And that's how addiction usually starts. No one just says, hey, I want to be an addict. I want to struggle with addiction my whole life. It usually starts with some sort of experimentation. So you go from being abstinent to just wanting to discover, see what it's like. And for some individuals, that's all they need. They experiment and that's done. Other individuals, they start to use it socially and recreationally. And then many of those individuals actually drop it and they don't ever become addicted to it. And then there's a small percentage of those individuals that will start to become habituated and they'll start to do things routinely. So a great example of this is individuals that have a nice glass of wine with dinner every night. Well, that's actually a habituated pattern. You're not an alcoholic or necessarily dealing with addiction, but that is something that you have habituated in your life. When it gets beyond habituation, it can start going into abuse and addiction, and that's when there's negative consequences. That's when you're missing work. That's when there's some actual serious health consequences that you're dealing with. If we're looking at alcohol, alcohol is all sugar. And so individuals are often putting lots of calories in their diet, not enough nutrition, and it's really important to take a look at the amount of nutrition that you're putting in your body when it comes to things like the street oxys and some of the fentanyl crisis we have right now. Pretty serious, guys. I mean, it's important to have honest conversations with your friends and family about this, because addiction is real and it happens. And guess what? The smartest people in the world have addiction. The dumbest people in the world have addiction. The richest people in the world also have addiction. The poorest people have addiction. It does not discriminate. So what do you do if you know someone with an addiction? Like, what happens if you know one of your partner is struggling with addiction? You're a family member. Family members need to know what to do. And I find that it's often a difficult thing when you are faced with a loved one struggling with addiction. You just don't know where to turn. You don't know what those resources are. And so part of what I love doing is helping families find the right kind of services to help their loved ones. And I also love helping the individuals that themselves are struggling with addiction. So for family members, if you're listening to this, mom, dad, partner, brother, sister, if you're listening to this, it's a rough road. I struggled with my own addiction, and my family pulled me through, and my friends pulled me through, and if they had given up on me, I don't know where I would be today. So, I know they thank you for that. I also know that there's only so much of yourself that you can put out before it starts to really affect you. So there are resources. If you are in the Vancouver area, if you're in the British Columbia province, you can contact BC 211 or redbookonline.ca.bc.ca, and you can find some resources for addiction services. If you are in Vancouver, there are some great inpatient-based programs and some good outpatient-based programs that you can refer your kids to, your loved ones to. But if you're a family member struggling with it, there are groups for you. There's Al-Anon. You can look up on Redbook Online for group support, family support for addiction. You can contact Edgewood. You can contact Bellwood. There are a bunch of different organizations that provide family support. The Last Door in New West is really good at involving family when it comes to addiction. If you're struggling with addiction, and I'm talking to you, like if you are really struggling with your addiction and you know that window of opportunity opens and then it closes right away, it's like that, when that window opens again, you gotta reach out for help. If that means reaching out to me, sending me a message, and I can give you a call, I'd be happy to do that. There are amazing programs out there, whether you need intensive inpatient-based medicines or treatment or outpatient-based treatment, there are lots of services for you. Just to highlight a few, Edgewood offers an intensive outpatient program. They also offer an inpatient program in Nanaimo. The outpatient program is great because what it does, it gets you in conjunction with a group of individuals struggling with the same types of things that you are. And you meet a couple times per week. You also meet with a counselor, and you're encouraged to go and do some group support. And so group support is really not just NA, not just AA, but there is a new support group called Smart Recovery, which is very science-based. There's also LifeRing. LifeRing has peer support. So if you're struggling with addiction, you just have to reach out and ask for help. And I know it's really hard to do that. And that window of opportunity opens and closes all the time. I know it does. But if you're watching this right now and you yourself and that window's open and you need some help and that window's open, you reach out right now. Okay? You let me know and I'll see what I can do. If you are a family member of a loved one, send me a message. I can get you in contact with the right types of services, especially if you are in the downtown Vancouver or in the greater Vancouver area. I have quite a bit of resources and know some people. So the other thing that you guys can do is there's Access Central. Access Central is a phone number that you can contact if you have any questions in the downtown area, Vancouver area. That number is 1-866-658-1221. Again, that's 1-866-658-1221. If you're listening to this right now and you have any questions, you can call that number and you can find appropriate services. Okay guys, it's ending of my video right now. It's Dr. Aaron Van Gaver. really just wanted to talk to you about addiction today and how important it is to reach out to those loved ones you feel are struggling, and if you yourself are struggling with addiction, reach out to a loved one, okay? You're not alone. I promise you're not alone. You can also reach out to me, Dr. Aaron Van Gaber. You can send me a message on Facebook. You can email me, drvangaber@gmail.com. Please, everyone, share my video, like my video, send me comments, share this with people that you know that may be interested in learning about this, and I wish you all well. I will see you guys next week. I look forward to my weekly episodes with you guys. Take care. Send me a message. Send me comments. Send me some ideas. Dr. Van Gaber out.